Good morning, guys. So, it's a nice, beautiful day here in Paraguay. Let me flip around the camera. Just came out to my balcony. Everyone likes a nice little balcony shot, huh? That's what I've been waking up to for last month. But today I want to show you something that I've been working on, which is a website. It's called Nomadic Blueprint, and it is the only website that you need in order to become a digital nomad in 2025 or afterwards. So let me just sit down on my desk and we'll get right into it. Too hot. Coffee's too hot. All right, ready to go. So yeah, the website is called Nomadic Blueprint. And basically what I wanted to do was create a starter story, or basically like the #1 resource directory for people who want to become digital nomads. And so right when you get on the page, before I get into like what I have built exactly, I just want you guys to know real quick, because I'm proud, that I taught myself how to code, and I basically coded it all myself. So you can see here, this is what it looks like on the back end. We're using Next.js mostly with the app router. And if you're not really technical, don't worry, just know that every single file in here was created by me and ChatGPT working in tandem. And yeah, overall it was pretty cool to see that I can build all of this myself. Yeah, you don't need to use like a WordPress or Wix or any of those kind of honestly a little bit shitty web designers, because you can build it to look exactly how you want, and you can get it hosted for free on Verso, which is cool. Yeah, so here, right off the bat, this didn't look like that yesterday. Let's see. But yeah, so this is it's called Nomadic Blueprint, and when you get here, basically the idea is being able to help you find a way to make money online, such as the people in this video. So the primary thing that we have on this website is case studies. So case studies are basically stories of people who went and became digital nomads. So we got some famous nomads on here like Peter Levels, who became a nomad. Kind of was one of the earlier nomads. He's probably been in the game for like 10 years already. But he's making about $250,000 a month operating a bunch of little businesses, which are pretty cool. Here's his Twitter profile. You can see that he's got all of his metrics listed here by revenue. So that's super cool. And then we also have people like Mark Liu. His coding course is actually the one that taught me how to code, or at least gave me the confidence to do it. So I basically pulled their info from sources online, like interviews and YouTube channel, and I made the case studies on them. We also have case studies on people that I know, as well as me. So the case study format varies a little bit, but basically what it is just full-on descriptive accounts of how people became digital nomads, because a lot of the time I feel like what holds people back is more so mental barriers than actual monetary barriers. And I think that the best thing to give people like that is just stories of people who did it, that ideally have circumstances similar to theirs. But for the meantime, we're just going to be taking stories that we can. And I also have a little submit your case study button down here. So if you want to be featured on here as a digital nomad, you can just, click one of these two buttons and we can get your story up there as well. But over the next year or two, I plan on filling up this website with a bunch of digital nomad stories. This is just kind of the MVP, the first version, but I feel pretty good about this first version. I think I did a pretty good job. And then in addition to the case studies part, we also have the ideas part, which is, if you're looking for ideas of what you could do, this is where you can find those. Because a lot of people I've met, they talk to me like, oh, I don't really know how I can do that. I work in construction now. What could I do to make money online? If you're wondering what you could do to make money online, this is what you can do. You can go on this website, go on this page, and then you can find 96 ideas of what you can do. And this load more button just goes down and down and down and down and down. But there's also filters up here. So if you're looking for something easy, you can click the easy button. If you're looking for something that's, selling, like if you want to do content, click the content button and you'll find ideas that align with those. And right now, I do want to go further into it and create like more resources and better descriptions of each one of these ideas. But for the meantime, each idea basically has a description, some tags, and it's basically just meant to kind of get you going. But obviously, teaching you how to start a podcast. I mean, I'm not going to be the #1 resource on the website or on the internet for teaching people how to start a podcast. It's more just going to be like a jumping off point, a discovery platform. So that's kind of what I've built it as for now. But there's always going to be so many different ideas of what you can do, and I wanted to present you with those ideas. There's people who create like an Instagram page and make hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising revenue or affiliate programs. And so you can find all of those ideas right here. And as I mentioned, there's about 96 of them. So there's really a ton of content in here. And then you can kind of dive into that and explore the paths that you think are going to be the best ones for you. Next up, we have the online work platforms section. So basically, if you're looking for, let's say you have an idea of what you want to do and you want to become a copywriter, for example. This part is meant to find you places that you can practice your craft and get paid for it. So if you scroll down here, you'll see a ton of different platforms, and what a platform is basically like a website or a business that will pay you to do a certain thing for them or to connect you with people that will pay you. And some things are tools, some things are platforms. For example, I think WordPress or like Shopify, those are tools. They're not paying you. They're just giving you something that you can do, use in your quest to get paid. I didn't include any of those. I wanted to only include platforms that will actually pay you. They'll ask for your bank information or their PayPal information, and they will cut you a check for you doing something. So that's what I have here. For example, like you can get paid on Etsy. I actually have an Etsy store selling AI products. And so you can find a little description of Etsy right here and a link to go visit the site. So again, it's not going to be the best resource in the internet for Etsy, but I'm more so just trying to capture the imagination. I'm trying to give a discovery platform for people, and eventually I'd like it all to work in tandem. I'd like for you to be able to go to a case study, find a person who became a software engineer, and then you go to the software engineering page and you can learn a little bit more about that. And then from the software engineering page, I'd like you to be able to go to several different platforms like People Per Hour, where you can actually find software engineering gigs. So that's kind of like the vision of how it's all going to connect. I'm going to give you the inspiration of the actual stories, and then I'm going to give you the more information about the craft itself, and then I'm going to connect you with the actual platforms where you can practice that craft and get paid for it. And ideally, eventually, we'd like to have a kind of like a ranking system for those, so that you can see, maybe there's a better platform to start on than others, and we don't want you to waste your time on, Fiverr when you could go on to freelancer.com instead. And yeah, so that is, I built all of this by myself. It's been a good month or two. I think that's kind of why I haven't been online as much. I've just been exploring Paraguay and having fun. But I really wanted to make this video and kind of showcase what we're building here, because I do want it to become the best resource on the website, or on the internet, for becoming a digital nomad, because I really enjoy this lifestyle. It's been giving me so much, it's given me so much. It's given me so much inspiration, so much happiness, so many memories that I want to share with other people and basically facilitate that transition for other people who are having a difficult time with it. And there is one other part of the website for now that I've built out, which is the bucket list section. So the bucket list section is just, again, it's meant to tap in with your imagination and show you that there's so many cool things that you can do in this world. And so if you're wondering why should I even become a digital nomad, it's so that you can have these experiences without needing to, cram them into 2 weeks of paid vacation a year, or worse, you don't get any vacation, or worse, you just never go at all. You can actually maintain your job in most circumstances. Depending on what you're trying to do. But yeah, you can actually maintain your income, as I have been doing, while having these amazing experiences. So you can scroll down here, same card system, and you can see, there's everything from the 7 wonders of the world. You can see cool experiences like, visiting the Northern Lights in northern Norway. You can go to Christ the Redeemer. You can go to Angkor Wat, go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. yeah, there's just a ton of different ideas, and I've got about 25 in here so far, but as you can imagine, there's just so many different experiences, so many different beautiful buildings, beautiful times of the year that you can go to different places. So there's a ton more to fill in here, as you can imagine. So that is the website, right? And then you, okay, yeah, you can just see different images of the stuff here, but yeah, so that is the website. As far as what's up next, basically what I think would be the coolest things to add onto this would be to create like a portal for users to go in and sign in, and then they can actually swipe different things to their profile. So let's say you find, 5 different ideas of what you can do to make money online, and you can actually import those to your profile so you can have those like shorthand. And I think that the number one feature that I'm looking at would be to basically integrate AI so that if you choose, like let's say that you create an user account and then you have to fill out a questionnaire saying, hey, I'm Zenon, I'm interested in graphic design, I have no experience in this, I like this, I'm pretty creative, I know how to build websites, blah, blah, blah. It would be cool if AI could basically take your story and then the different ideas that you're interested in and create you a customized plan on what you could do to basically become, someone who makes money online. I think that would be the ultimate integration with what I'm working on right now. But in addition to that, I also want you to be able to import bucket list items to your page. I want you to be able to cross stuff off because I think that that's a cool feeling of achievement to see that you've visited, 3 or 4 or 5 wonders of the world, or you've been to 27 countries. I've been to now, I think 27 actually. And I've been to, I think 5 wonders of the world. And I'm only 28, and I've been making money online while doing it close to $100,000 a year. So yeah, it is possible, and I think that it would be cool if there was a platform that combined, that basically helped people facilitate this transition in their life, because it is a very ambiguous transition. It's not something that's well documented, and it's kind of one of those things you have to go figure out for yourself. So I'd love to help people figure that out for themselves, and then I'd also like to help make the journey more interesting for when you actually do figure it out. So, communities, let's get you on experiences, let's have group chats, let's have meetups, because it can be like a little bit of a lonely game. That's what I've learned while talking to people who are digital nomads. But it doesn't need to be, because at this point there's enough of us out there that we can have communities. So anyways, guys, that is what I've been working on. I'm here in Paraguay. I'm gonna be posting a little bit more famous last words. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about the website. What do you think that it is missing, and what do you like about it? If you could just put that in this comment section below, I think that'd be valuable feedback for knowing what direction I should take it in. As I mentioned, I do host it on Vercel, which is crazy because I'm used to paying $30, $40, $50 a month in hosting, but now it is hosted completely free. Everything on here is actually built for free, or hosting for free. So the only real expense I have is like a $12 domain name per year, which is crazy. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Throw them in the comment description down below. Toss a like if you like the website. If you like the website, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.